The group of friends never ate dinner together. Since the end of the show 17 years ago, they only shared a meal once. Lisa Kudrow shocked everyone by telling them this during the gathering. "Sure, everything will be fine. Yeah, you don't seem to be able to have 3 kids." Fans thought they were best friends, even though Lisa was having her own problems. She said, "I don't remember it being too bad for me." She dodged group events and after-parties. She said it made her think of being left by friends in middle school. But the story had more to it than that. Something about her made her feel like she didn't belong on the set. The real reason Lisa stayed home alone might surprise you. Lisa Kudrow was born in Encino, California, on July 30th, 1963. Her home was stressed, quiet, and full of science books. In 1971, her father, Dr. Leanne Kudrow, opened the first private headache center in the western United States. He was a very good headache expert. It took her mother, Nedra, a while to get strong. In the past, she planned trips. She lived through the first wave of the COVID-19 outbreak and even beat breast cancer. Her death was peaceful in February 2020, when she was 89 years old. The Kudrow family was honest and humble. The house they lived in Encino was cozy and full of books and hopes. Lisa did not grow up in a strange home. As a child, she learned how to do well. Even though she was the youngest of 4 kids, she often felt like she was growing up alone because of the big age gap. Helene, her sister, was born in 1955, 8 years younger than her. Honeymoon Designs was the name of the clay art business she ran. They both became neurologists. David, who was born in 1957, did the same thing as their dad. In 1995, he took on the job. Derek, who was born in 1959, was by himself all the time. He was never given much care. Helene was used as Lisa's body double in a few Friends scenes because she looked so much like Lisa. David's 2 boys from his marriage in 1984 are Ethan and Daniel. Lisa was still in school when her brothers moved out on their own. After that, the shy one was buried under books. As a child, she grew up in a family that put truth above humor or fame. Thoughts were talked about at dinner instead of jokes or stories. Lisa felt the weight right away. She worked hard at tennis like it was her job. She read like it was very important for her to stay alive. She wasn't able to play outside like other kids in Encino. Because her parents had tight school rules, it was hard for her to be a normal teen. She had a different feeling. She wasn't driven to do it. It was just how she was made. She didn't feel like she fit on the Taft High School varsity tennis team, even though she made it. It only said that she had done something again. She started showing signs of being very shy when she was 5 years old. Lisa stayed inside with books that were too hard for her while other kids played outside. According to her mother, she had an old soul. Lisa's teachers could tell that she was too focused on the smallest social cues. She didn't just stay away from social events. She didn't want anyone to see her. The world was too noisy for her, and she liked quiet places. She was even further behind everyone else by middle school. She didn't follow the social rules of the people around her. She didn't even try. She learned French. She learned more about biology. She looked into everything but people. Next up was the 7th grade at Portola Middle School. The floor then fell apart. Lisa was put to the test when 2 of her closest friends told her they were leaving because she needed to experience what it would be like without them. The blow was real. It was already planned. At the same time, their class read Macbeth. It caught her attention, and she kept hearing the phrase, "Fair is foul and foul is fair." Lisa thought that everything had changed. It seemed like the mean kids got praise, while the nice ones were ignored. She was by herself in the middle. Her 20-year-old sister, Helene, saw what was going on at the moment. She would drive to school and pick up Lisa on half days, when other kids went out to lunch with groups. She would go with her to a lunch off campus, so she wouldn't have to sit alone. It happened more than once. It turned into a pattern. She got there after reading the plan and checking the time. Helene saw it, even though most 20-year-olds wouldn't have. Even though it was dangerous, she kept Lisa safe. It was great, according to Lisa. When Lisa asked her parents what she had done wrong, They told her she was hurt very badly. F*** them. Her dad told her, "You can't do that." Her mother told her. No one helped her figure it out. No one stopped to hear her. They had no plans to hurt her. But at a time when she already felt alone, they mentally left her. Something inside her got stronger at that very moment. She didn't trust groups anymore. She started to keep herself safe by keeping quiet and giving herself room. The scars didn't go away for a long time. No one in her group did anything. She got really interested in language books, science projects, and math. She began to think that friendships could end at any time. She thought she could finally love herself once she became famous, because everyone else did. No one forgot about the 13-year-old girl who had nowhere to sit at lunch. She tried again at Taft High. She never got along with other people, but she kept going on the tennis team. She tried to get into a special education program at Cornell University that summer. It was a fail for her in both Jewish writing and Jewish history. It wasn't because they were stupid. It was hard for her to figure out where she fit in. "You failed too," her dad told her. "That is wonderful. Have fun now." It was clear to him that she was getting pretty angry. It didn't matter what the grades were anymore. It had to do with her health. She had surgery on her nose when she was 16. She had a completely different view of herself after the surgery. It made her brave, which she had never felt before, and she finished it right before she switched schools. Not just how they looked. She really meant it when she said, "I went from being ugly to not being ugly." It was about finally believing that things could be different. In spite of everything, Lisa did really well in school. She did very well in biology and won prizes at science shows. She got into Vassar College and studied psychobiology there. It was done by her in 1985. After that, she learned how to be a doctor by working at her dad's office for 6 to 8 months. She became famous for a study she did on left-handed people and groups of people who get headaches. It wasn't a job with a widely known person. She did math for a living. She looked into how the brain works. A lot of medical progress was made in the house where she grew up. John Lovitz used to be friends with her brother David, who is now a doctor. John would tell Lisa in the future that she should try performing, but she wasn't ready for that at the time. She had been to France when she was in high school. Thanks to the trip, she quickly learned French. During her time in college, she got better at what she did. In the early 1980s, she shared a room with a French woman who was seeing a guy named Michel Stern. In 1995, Michel and Lisa will finally get married after a long time. When I was in high school, that trip made learning French seem like just another school job. But Hollywood put them under a different kind of stress. People began to talk about her body after she had surgery on her nose. She was told to keep weight off and not compare herself to other people when she got compliments on how she looked. She had to lose weight to keep up with Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston. She told friends that being with them made her feel like a mountain of a woman. When she did, people praised her, even though it was bad for her. She felt better about her body after getting the nose job, but her problems with it didn't go away. It was cold when Lisa Kudrow moved to Vassar College in New York in September 1981. She left the warm weather of California behind. She wasn't there to act or show off. She went there to study psychobiology, which is a lot like studying air in that it is important and is passed down from parent to child. Her dad, Dr. A lot of people knew Lee Kudrow for his work on headaches. Lisa wished she could go with him. Her GPA stayed at 3. 7 years old, and got his biology degree in May 1985. He never skipped a beat in the lab. She worked with numbers a lot, spoke French very well, and played tennis a lot. She lived in Strong House and didn't really sleep anywhere else during her junior year. Not a single act was thought about. While working late at night to code neurological patient files, she learned how to find groups and test migraine sufferers to see if they are left-handed dominant. It was hers, exact and based on science. She worked from home with her dad in Encino even after she finished. They wrote something together that would be remembered as important in medical history. A study called Handedness and Headache came out in 1994 in the Cephalalgia magazine. Her name was on the top. They found something they had never seen before after looking at 273 people with cluster headaches and 477 people with migraines. Around 273 people in the cluster were left-handed, or 24%. 13 times as many people belonged to the group as to the general community. It showed a pattern in the brain that had never been linked before. There was also 55% of the time that the lidocaine nose spray helped treat the problem. Lisa Kudrow was a real scientist above all else. It wasn't far to get to Harvard. Stanford was on the move. Something strange was going on at the same time. She was making progress in medicine. Lisa's older brother put her in touch with John Lovitz, a loud and strange stand-up comic who was already living in Los Angeles in 1983. He was different from everyone else in her lab. It wasn't his goal to make her laugh. She wasn't trying to make him laugh. He noticed Lisa talking in voices when they were talking about class or lab work, but she wasn't aware of it. He made fun of her. He asked her if she was. He told her it again. That didn't change her mind. But something did not work right. In late 1985, 6 months after finishing from Vassar, she took her first big risk. She signed up for the Coronet Theater's acting class taught by Cynthia Sigety. It didn't work out, though. It made me feel terrible. She stopped moving one time. Lisa was so scared that she couldn't move because her scene partner had to work alone for 5 painful minutes. That night, she almost gave up. She might have done it too if not for Conan O'Brien. Conan had just finished his last year at Harvard. He was short, scared, and ready to do something completely stupid. Lisa didn't think it was bad that he went through scenes. Something changed. She came up to me after class and said, "Hi, my name is Lisa." I was thrilled. It was the start of a short, funny love story and a bond. They made her feel safe in a world she didn't understand. Lisa had always felt weird around other people in college. An exchange student from Turkey raped her when she was 20 years old. After the strange and quiet event that opened a door, she had more questions than answers. Conan wasn't like most people. It was short but very powerful. They were together for 8 months before their jobs forced them to split up. Then something else took place. Lisa met Michelle Stern at a birthday party, just 1 month after Conan broke up with her. It was nice to meet someone French like him. She liked him a lot of years ago, but he was seeing her friend at the time. He was now by himself. Lisa wasn't able to complete her plan. Not yet. She still felt weird and too much like the girl who said hi, and then ran off. She held out. It's been 6 years. Lisa tried to fit in by acting like everyone else, but it wasn't easy. She tried but failed to become a member of the Groundlings. To start over, she went to Sigaty's basic class. Sigety told the truth about everything. Lisa told her to calm down because she was getting angry. That's not true at all. You need to have it. It worked, even though it seemed cruel. Lisa made up her first dumb girl character at that point. It was a sweetheart who had never done it before. She didn't like the word, but she could tell what other people thought about it. It was a good thing that she felt bad. It was amusing. Lisa had the most important teacher she ever had in Sigety. It didn't pay to play, though. She got her chance on Saturday Night Live in 1990. In order to see her and Julia Sweeney perform, Lorne Michaels went all the way to Los Angeles. Lisa left. She got it. She wasn't all set. She got the part. It made Lisa sad when she got home. She was sad all the time for months. She told Vanity Fair after the event, "I thought maybe I'm one of those people who bad things don't happen to." She worked as a waitress and asked her family for money. Lisa's mother told her, "You can always go to medical school." Every day, Lisa thought about going back to science. In 1991, she got her first steady acting job with the Transformers comedy group. The pay wasn't even enough to cover rent, so she had to decide between food and gas. By 1992, she had been turned down by more than 20 TV shows. 3 days after being hired to play Roz Doyle in the Frasier pilot, she was fired. She cried when James Burrows told her straight out that she was wrong. She meant to quit. In the same year, she got a small part as an unknown waiter on Mad About You and made $2,000 for it. Even though she hadn't read the script, she was asked to do 5 more shows by the end of that week. She played a small part named Ursula Buffy, which saved her. It was hard to get by back then, So she got a job on the CBS show Bob for $1,500, which was just enough to live on. She borrowed money, lived with other people, did voiceover work for The Simpsons, and every weekend did stand-up comedy. She learned new things at the Groundlings and became different, stronger, and more like herself. The only person who had to try out twice for the 1994 show was Lisa Kudrow. The rest of the cast was picked behind closed doors, and Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, David Schwimmer, Matt LeBlanc, and Matthew Perry were all given their roles right away. She had been fired from Frasier the year before, but she still had panic attacks, and she married Michelle Stern in Malibu on May 27, 1995, wearing pearls and saying their vows in both French and English. It should have been the best time ever. As Roz Doyle, she had already shot a few scenes when James Burrows, the director, stopped everything and said it wasn't working. When Friends came along, he made her prove herself again. While everyone else was getting ready for the pilot, she stood in front of him and did her second audition. Lisa didn't find out she had been picked until years later, when they were planning the party. But getting through the interview wasn't easy at all. You couldn't just reenact Phoebe's speech about how her mother killed herself, her drug-addicted friend died in the car, and her stepdad is in jail. You had to find a way to make it funny. Lisa saw people leave the room shaking, some of them with more credits than she did. Her surprise at the twin was something she didn't expect. NBC said that Phoebe looked a lot like Ursula Buffy because she had played the same waitress on Mad About You. They split it into two different stories, even though she was scared and thought she would always be the drunk one. After that choice, everything changed. Because people knew her from other shows, she was locked in and made $2,500 an episode to begin with. That's $54,000 for the whole first season. The network had faith in her even though she hadn't shown they were right yet. Her father was an expert on headaches, and she had studied under him for years. She worked in labs and wrote about her research on cluster headaches and being left-handed. But now she had to say things that didn't make sense, saying that they didn't make sense at all, and that her brain wouldn't let her think about them. Lisa tried to explain everything Phoebe said for 2 seasons, but she thought about it too much because she was afraid she wasn't funny enough or smart enough for the part, and she felt like she was behind other people who seemed to be doing their jobs well. Jennifer, Courtney, and Matt got along great, but Lisa didn't. It made her think of junior high, where you're standing outside the group not sure if you're invited. Matt LeBlanc made her feel better. He knew how to be creative because he had done improv too. But she didn't say anything. May I talk to you? She didn't know how to ask. When something didn't feel right, that's what they did well. Lisa needed to learn how to ask questions and not freeze up when she was nervous. It took time and work for the famous relationship on the show to form. Lisa worked hard to fit in with that group. When they recorded the pilot, she was angry. Off the camera, not on it. Real-life people laughed too long at Phoebe's lines. It felt forced. It made my time go off. She glared at them more than once because she didn't want to stop the show's flow. She thought the viewers at home deserved more than fake laughs and overblown feelings. Each show took 6 to 8 hours to film, and everyone was tired because every extra laugh meant more takes. She got mad when jokes were changed just because people were tired of them. In the end, she was sure that the purest form would be used, which made her very angry. There were no real people in the room. It was just home. In season 2, the money problems began. The cast got between $20,000 and $40,000 for each show, and Lisa was paid only $22,500. David Schwimmer, who led the ensemble, said that they should all get the same pay. They all agreed not to go to table reads unless they were paid $100,000 per episode for season 3. Instead, they got $75,000 and agreements to distribute their work, which would make them a lot of money later. Lisa said it was scary. They were honest about knowing that the show would fall apart if even one of them left, so they played to their strengths. In 1998, everything hit her at once. She was nominated for an Emmy for 3 years in a row, and that year she finally won for Outstanding Supporting Actress. But she felt like she was failing in season 3 right before that. She called it hysteria, and she thought she was stealing because she wasn't working hard enough. Matt LeBlanc saw it. "You don't have to do what you did last season," he said. That kept her from falling. She calmed down and stopped thinking too much. Then she won the prize. On May 7th, 1998, her son Julian Murray Stern was born. Her pregnancy wasn't a secret. The authors used it to their advantage. Phoebe gave birth to triplets to help her brother have them. After her baby left, Lisa felt better. The group even said "love you" at the start of their prep sessions. On that set, he grew up. During breaks, his mother raised him while playing one of the strangest and cutest TV characters. In 2021, he got a degree in film and television production from USC. Behind the scenes, Lisa continued to feel out of place. The big communal feasts that everyone thought they went to? No, they didn't. In the 17 years after the show ended in 2004, they only shared one dinner, sometime around 2014. It wasn't until the 2021 summit that they all got together again. Lisa agreed that it was difficult. She had to watch Courtney, Jennifer, and Matt to learn how to treat others with respect. She said she didn't know you could ask, "Can I talk to you?" In season 5, everything came to a head. Lisa became more shy, and she didn't go to any after-parties or take part in group activities. Her friends left her in 7th grade, telling her, "You need to see what happens when we're not around." That kind of hurt doesn't go away on its own, and she brought it to the friends set by stepping back when people laughed or made jokes. She didn't want to be teased again. People put her back in the ditzy blonde box every time she tried to get out of it. In 1997, she played the lead role in Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, which made $29. Users said that the $2 million was just padding because she was just being Phoebe again. They didn't get it. They were only shown one more blonde joke. In 2005, she made the comeback, in which she played Valerie Cherish, a show star with a dead end who was trying hard to stay popular. It hurt because it was so real. Fans kept watching the show when HBO canceled it after one season, and it came back in 2014. She was nominated for another Emmy. She didn't give up, even though it made her think about her worries. What if Friends was all I ever was? The strange improvised show Web Therapy, in which she played a therapist holding 3-minute webcam sessions, began online before streaming became popular. Showtime then picked it up, and it ran until 2015. Fans loved it, but it never got many views. Jane Lynch, Meryl Streep, and Jennifer Lawrence were among the stars. There were no planned scenes, and she never stopped pushing herself. She played creepy roles, like a guidance counselor who cheated on her clients in the movie Easy A. Extras started reacting when they heard Monica and Rachel, so the name of her character had to be changed. Years later, her friends were still following her. In 2022, Spencer Pratt called her the rudest celebrity he had ever met, saying she told his wife to leave him at a party and told him he had the eyes of a serial killer. His friend Bethany Frankel supported him, but Lisa didn't say anything. In 2024, she flew to New Zealand to film Time Bandits for Apple TV+. Taika Waititi invited her to join, and she played Penelope, a time-traveling thief. The cost was more than $100 million. After one season, it was canceled. She had not done anything so risky since Friends, but Friends always paid, so it didn't matter. The show's global distribution brings in $1 billion a year, and Lisa continues to make almost $20 million a year from it. Over 10 seasons, she made almost $90 million. In 2024, at age 61, she said she still didn't know what to do, and she still goes to therapy. She still remembers the day her friends broke up with her in 7th grade, and how she felt like she didn't belong.